Hi friends, so this is the part 4 of the how to create a simple Python port scanner. So continuing on from the previous tutorials, the first one I created this script that you can see, and then I added something like first I created this script. After that I created this try and except blocks, and then in the previous tutorial I created this timeout. So in this tutorial, what I'm going to be doing is that I will be adding a line on which so for example in here we have statically set the port number. So what I will be doing is that I will be creating an input so that the user can type in what ports they want to scan. So in here what we do is that the first thing that we are going to be doing is and here, so if you don't understand what this program does or this script does, or one of these lines does, is that you can visit my other previous tutorials that I have explained all these parts, and there are some other tutorials about Python or PowerShell networking, all this stuff on my channel. You can, if you're interested, you can view them as well. So let's get started with this one. So in here let's create another variable called port that holds the port number. So in here what we do is that we ask the user to type in. So what we do is we are saying input, and we are saying port number. So what it does is that when we run this program, it asks the user port number, or let me just type in enter port number. So it asks the user the port number for the port number, and once the user types in the port number, it will be stored in this port variable. And now what we do in here, this 8000 refers to the port that you are connecting to. So in here, instead of statically typing the port number, what we can do is we can say that we can type in port, which holds the port number to be scanned. But however, when you ask the user to type in something, and when the user types it in, what Python does is that Python treats it as a string. So we don't want it to be a string. We want it to be an integer, because the s.connect method, what it does is that it expects this port number to be a number. So it can't accept a string. So what we do is that by using this int, what it does is that it converts it. So what int port means is that whatever the string the user enters, it can be any port number, 22, 25, 5, 10, 100, it converts it into an integer. So this is one way that in which we can ask the user to enter in a port number and then convert it to an integer, and then we scan that port. So let's go and see this one. So in here, if you run in Python 3 and then we say port scanner, we can see that it asks us to enter in the port number. So let's say you type in port number 123, it says that connection refused because you are not running anything. However, in here you can see that I am running a simple HTTP server, so it is saying that serving HTTP on 0000 on port 8000. So what it is doing, that it is running the HTTP service on all the ports on this local machine. So let's do it again, and let's type in 8000. Now it is connecting to this machine on port 8000. So what it is doing is that it is saying it's timeout. Why does it say timeout? So I have explained it in the previous tutorial. I'll just quickly explain it here as well. So HTTP by default does not return any banner, so that's why it waits. So by default it waits for like 120 seconds. So if you don't receive anything by 120 seconds, what it does is that it times it out. But let's say we're scanning for hundreds of ports, and if our scanner has to wait 120 seconds for each port, it will take a long time. So what we do is in here, that's why we have used this timeout. So what it does is just waits for 2 seconds. If you don't receive anything within 2 seconds, what it does is that it just kind of times it out. So in here 129, it is the local port that you are connecting to, local machine. So this time let's say you are connecting to another machine, let's say you're connecting to my Ubuntu in here, which is the IP address of 192.168.142.135. so in here, if we change the IP address to 135 and let's save it, then let's go and Python and run it. So it's saying us enter in the port number. So when we type in the port number, what it does is that it grabs the banner. So whenever you connect to a service for the first time, or whenever you connect to a service, it sends us its banner, which explains what service it is running. It is saying that it is running SSH 2.0 and it's running OpenSSH 7.2 P2 and it's an Ubuntu machine. So it's not this is one way of grabbing it. How it helps security researchers or penetration testers is that once you identify a service, you then search for that service. You check whether there are any vulnerabilities or not. So if there are any vulnerabilities, that's how you can find out whether your systems are vulnerable or not. So if it is, then you can patch your systems and all that thing. So it is recommended that you change this banner. So this is the default. By default, this is what you receive. So in here I have CentOS running as well. So on my CentOS machine, it is IP address is 133, 192.168.142.133. So let's quickly check this as well. So in here on this CentOS, if we go to 133, change it, let's run it again. So in here this says that our CentOS machine, what it says that it's running SSH 2.0 and OpenSSH 6.6.1. It was running OpenSSH 7.2 P2. It is running OpenSSH 6.6.1. So this is how you can find out information about several or many banners that you can connect to, or many services that you can connect to, and they will return their banners or their headers, and then that's how you can identify it. So this is it for this tutorial, guys. This is, I think, the part 4 of this tutorial. So this script that I have done, I created from scratch, explained each line what it does, and then I modified it, tried to make it better and better and better. So this is how we reached to the part 4 of this tutorial, in which I added the functionality of asking the user for the port number. So this is it for this tutorial, guys. This is how you can create a simple port scanner in Python. So if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comment section below, or if you have any recommendations, or is there any particular topic that you want me to cover, feel free to put it in the comment section as well. So I will see you guys in the next one.